What's up, cat and kittens? I'm sorry. I missed last week, but we're gonna catch up on last week and get into tonight. And I promise I'll try not to take up too much of your time because you know I like to ramble. But before we get into it, please like, please subscribe. You know how it goes. And to become a what? MVP, you gotta what? Follow me on Instagram. And we good. And of course, I'm on Facebook too. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's do a quick little recap of last week. I got my notes here because you know a bitch can't remember shit. You know, I quit smoking over a month ago, but the THC still seems to be having a little hold on the brain. And please pray for me because I gotta take my first um urine test to drop negative. So pray for a bitch. But anyway, last week had continued with the fight between Devon. I love saying his name, Devon and Bree. And thank God for Coach B because she actually got through to them. You know, Bree was able to express herself, how she felt, where Devon was lacking and what she needed from him and how she felt about, you know, the beginning of things and feeling that, you know, their daughter didn't have a safe place to be when he was with them and she just wants, you know, be a mom and make sure that he got her because, you know, Devon wasn't the best in the beginning and you just never know how that's gonna go. But like I said, thank God for Coach B because she was able to make them see where each other is coming from. And they actually had a breakthrough. Devon cried, Bree cried, and it was very, very great for both of them, I believe. That was like the best thing, best conversation they had ever had. So that's why I see sometimes counseling does work because sometimes you need an outside person who's not biased and can, you know, see both sides, and that person can show you, you know, where your faults are and that you are, in fact, at fault. So, anywho, Corey shows up. You know, Shy's first baby, her baby daddy, and also from the challenge. That's my shit. And I think I'm gonna do commentary on the challenge. But you can follow me on Twitter because I'm gonna be part of a group doing the challenge commentary. But anyway, back to the lecture at hand. So Corey comes through and he creates a challenge for everyone to do. And oh my God, it was so fun. So they created two teams, and let's see. It was hilarious because it was so hilarious. Because first of all, Bree, her tits kept falling out. You know, key moment of the game. It kept coming out. Both of them kept coming out. It was so hilarious. She tried her hardest. Gary was doing the damn thing, and I was surprised for his ass, but it was so cute and funny. Let's see. Oh yeah, Gary lost the shoe. He was good to it. He was so into that shit. But Team Shay had won. And but then Bree, at the end of it all, Bree couldn't catch her breath. Bree just stopped breathing. She basically laying out on the ground, talking about she can't catch her breath, and it got real serious real quick. And she had to go to the hospital, and that was so scary. She was there and she didn't know what was going on. You know, that's scary, especially when you ain't used to going to the hospital. That's like you just, and especially your breath, you can't breathe. Like that's real harsh. So, anywho, yeah, they had to do all types of tests on her and see how she was doing, and she had to stay overnight. Meanwhile, Amber, Macy, and Shay had a therapy exercise with Coach B, and it was very emotional for all of them. The exercise was Coach B had got a picture of them from their older self when they first started the show, and they had to look at her, you know, say what they felt was going on with her, their younger her, and then they had to speak to the younger version of themselves what they felt that they needed to hear. And needed someone to say to them, and it was very emotional. They all basically had a breakthrough at that, and that was like one of the best exercises so far, I believe. So let's see. And after that, it was calm after that because that was the only calmness that needed to be, because at the end of that episode, Farrah showed up. We knew she was coming. And there she was. Everybody was chilling, having drinks. Bree finally came home and, said she's sorry. She didn't mean to scare anyone, but she still wanted to rest up. So she went and laid down and rest. And then when she did, everyone got to drinking, having a good time, mingling, and all that good stuff. And then Farrah shows up. And it shows everybody looking like, oh shit, here she is. She's actually here. And then it went off. And that was that of that episode. So now we can get into tonight's episode. And it started off right where it left off. Farrah strolling in like she's just the life of the party and she's the star of the show and everyone should be happy to see her, and she ain't thinking about all of the online beef she has had with people in the past, and not even thinking about the fact of how these people feel about her right now. So she comes in and joins the party and she starts talking and mingling, and everybody, the energy just changed. It was not popping no more like it was when it went off last week. So she starts talking to Gary and whoever will basically listen to her. Basically, she introduced herself to Devon, and they never seen each other before, so he introduced himself back. Whoop whoop de whoop. But on the other side, on the sidelines, you've got Shay thinking like this bitch, because Farrah accused Shy, keep calling her Shy, of having a baby just to get on the show. Basically trying to be like her. And they had went out one night. They was kicking it at the bar. Farrah was slapping her booty. You know how girls do when they hang out. And then the next morning she gonna say, "Oh, you had a baby trying to be like me to get on the show. You a groupie." Basically called her a groupie. And that did not fit well with Shy. So basically it was a wrap. Shy felt some type of way, as well as she should, because I would too. And Farrah tried to keep going on about it, basically in the media, talking about the shit. So Shy's like, like, bitch, what the fuck, So when she finally got there, Shy was not feeling it, and Corey decided to actually say something to her. So he rose up to her ever so kindly. He didn't even come at her, ruthless or just or mean or nasty. He just wanted to say what he had to say, and he did. So he rolled up to her and he was like, "Oh, so we had a baby just to get on the show. That's how you feeling?" And then she was like, "Well, basically, I guess I do. And if you want to come on ghetto," and bitch, why did she say that? Why she say ghetto? And if you don't shy, she do not play with ignorance. That is like her worst pet peeve, for real. And so that's all that Farrah needed to say for her to pop off. Shy was like, "Oh, what do you mean by that? Ghetto? Like, bitch, who the fuck is you talking to? Ghetto?" And she just went irate. She was heated beyond belief. She was flipping the tables, girl. She flipped the table. She was yelling, like all the drinks went everywhere. So she was ready to get it cracking right then and there. And then Farrah, being who she is, she starts egging it on and instigating even more. Now, even though you part of it, she was still instigating. That's how messed up Farrah is. So she's egging it on, saying all this crap back, like whatever. Couldn't even understand some of the stuff because I still can't get past this girl's face. But it wasn't sitting well with Shy still, so Shy still going off, Farrah's going off, and it's just going back and forth, back and forth. And then at some point, it went to commercial, so when it came back, you know, Shy had calmed down. She was cool, calm, and collected. She went and had a seat. She was venting to who she was talking to, but Farrah's still going on. Farrah's still trying to be, oh, this party was boring until I got here. You guys are boring. I'm the life of the party. You want to jump on the Farrah train? Like, what train, bitch? What train? What train is you on? And so Amber, bless Amber's heart, because Amber was able to calm her down. She was like, you know what? You don't have to be like this. Whoop de whoop. And she was just trying to calm her down. She went and sat her down and started talking to her. She brung up Sophia to try to redirect her energy towards something else because Farrah was still on one. And she was the only one. And she would have got her ass whooped probably because at one point Ashley looked like she was ready to have her time with her. But some of the cast members had bagged her back and took her in the other direction. But Farrah could have got some hands laid on her. She better watch her mouth because if it wasn't for security, it would have been a different story. And that's what kills me. If security was not present in these shows, a lot of people would not pop off the way that they do. And that's word. So Bree's back from the hospital, of course, and there she starts talking about, how she's okay and what happened to her. This is the next morning. And everyone else is having their little sessions talking about what went down last night with Farrah and all of the bullshit. And so the next day, the boys go have a boys' day and they go do some whiteboarding, I believe it was, and even Devoyne had came along, which was so cool because he was able to get some advice and from a perspective from the men who are dealing with this stuff, especially Zach and Corey, because Zach and Corey, they co-parent with Shy. And so he was able to see how it's really done from looking at it from experience and seeing that it can be done. And people can be cordial and you can be cordial with the baby mama. So he even said that he felt that they were having like a breakthrough and it was good for him that he actually did come. So he is starting to realize a difference in himself and that there is a different way of going about it. And so I am really, really rooting for him and Bree to be able to co-parent together. He has another girlfriend now, and I believe he's going to propose to her. Yeah, I believe he's proposed to her because that's what he came and talked about when he did show up. So yeah, that was very, very nice to see that he was able to be cool, calm, and a different side of him that we don't get to see because we always get to see him mad, upset, frustrated for whatever's going on between him and Bree. Now, while the guys were out doing their thing, the girls were having a talk with Coach B, and they were letting her know all the shenanigans that had went down that night previously with Farrah. And Shy was just letting her know, I don't appreciate it. I don't know how I can even deal with her here. Like, why is she even here in the first place? And the girls kind of felt the same way because, Macy doesn't have the best history with Farrah either. And actually, Amber doesn't because they even almost came to blows at one of the reunions. But, Amber is in a different place, so she's trying to be a different person. That probation ain't no joke. It's really helped her, actually. And she did that time. So, she has really turned herself around. And she's trying to help Farrah. So, but she knew that Farrah was out of pocket even though she tried to help her, Farrah was out of pocket. And she just let her know, I tried, but I see that this could be helpful for her. And she was trying to make the girls see that in a different light. And they kind of realized, what, this is what we're here for to work on ourselves, to work on each other. So maybe if she just left, it wouldn't be a benefit at all. If she just left and she should stay and try to talk, get some help, whatever the case may be. So after that, Coach B decided to have a talk with Farrah. And she had a real nice heart to heart, kind of. She told Farrah what were the things she needed to work on. She asked her that. And, Farrah just felt like, I've always had to do it all. I'm a single mother. I have to do everything. And she got into, the fact of her calling Corey ghetto. And she asked, and she told her, like, well, don't you see where that could be a problem? And why would you even say that in the first place, basically? And Farrah's just like, oh, well, I didn't mean it like that. I just said it because that's how I was feeling. Like you was feeling ghetto, so you said it. That's what I'm thinking in my head. But she never really apologized. But she says she's kind of taking responsibility for her actions, but not that specifically. So she really didn't feel like any sympathy for the fact of what she said and where she saw it was wrong. I think she did, but she didn't really want to be open and say that she realized that. She just started crying. You know what white girls do when they feel when they know they're wrong and they just put on the white girl tears. And that's how I felt that she did. Oh well, be mad at me if you won't, but that's what it was. She put on the white girl tears. Mm. So I think that was basically it for that episode. Farrah just was out of pocket, but Devon got his life. And we are still waiting for Leah's boyfriend to show up. We are waiting. I hope he's coming soon. We see that he's gonna come. So let's get this going, shall we? I am really ready to see how he is. So I can start judging. Yes. But that is it for last week and this tonight's episode. So I hope you liked it. Come back next week. If I don't come back next week, I'll be back then next week. Sometimes I'll do one, sometimes I'll do two. It just depends how a girl's schedule is flowing. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. I'm trying to get on my game. I promise. So please like and subscribe if you haven't, and please follow me on Instagram to be an MVP, to be a confessor. That's what I call my followers, confessors, because we are confessions. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see y'all next time. Peace and love. Bye.